Hey, what is up, sexy beasts? My name is ShadowFX and or Louise, whichever you want to call me, and miracles do happen. I said I was going to be making more videos, and here I am with another video. How long it will last, nobody knows. But for the time being, here I am with some Modern Warfare 3 Capture the Flag. Capture the Flag? How fitting. Capture the Flag gameplay. I don't really play Capture the Flag usually. Like I said, I'm into Search and Destroy, but we played it. It was a semi-decent game because I just defended. And here we go. But what I want to talk about today, guys, is the hacking that is so rife in Call of Duty. Because let's face it, it's an absolute shit show. Let's face it. Absolute shit show. And why? Many reasons. We're going to get into that. I mean, COD is no stranger to the hacking in Call of Duty. PC will have always had the problem. But back in the day, like Modern Warfare 2, the original one, you had JTags. And you had people absolutely hacking the shit out of it, making your lobby absolutely terrible, just ruining the whole experience for you. Just being a cunt, basically. But at least they were, like, really in your face, and they were like, they didn't hide it. They were like, here, I'm a dick. You know, at least they were all about it. They threw their whole heart and soul into it. And you had to back then, because you needed a JTag if you want to do it on the 360. You needed a JTag. So you either needed to have the skills to make one, or you needed to have the funds to buy one. So it was a little bit tamer in the sense of not as many people were doing it, because not as many people either had the skill or the funds to have a JTag. I've got a JTag. It sits in my drawer, but it hasn't been used in a while. But that little war machine still works. But I didn't use it for COD. I wasn't really into COD then, and I wouldn't have done, because COD's too competitive. I used it to mod GTA 4 and fuck about on that and have like modder wars with the other modders. And I did actually use it to play GTA 5 when it came out 2 weeks early. That little bad boy, my little JTag, did help me out there. But anyway, I shouldn't really do that either, but shh. But I digress. Yeah, okay. It was a problem with the JTags, and there were actually people making money back then out of it, because people were paying them so they could get into the same lobby, and then their Xbox 360 could get infected with the mods. And I think as long as they didn't turn the game off, maybe just don't turn off the console, then their normal 360 would stay infected with the mods. But it wasn't as much of an issue as such. And I remember by the time that I was playing COD myself on console, like Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, I wasn't really running into these people. I wasn't really running. It was once in a blue moon that you might run into somebody that was dodgy. It wasn't a massive thing back then. But now, oh my god, everyone and their fucking mother is doing it. It's absolutely nuts. And it's because of the fact that there are more people on PC now. And it seems to be that with the COD pros, whatever they end up being put on, like when they were all competing on the 360, everyone went out and bought Xbox. When they were then moved to PlayStation, everyone went out and bought PlayStation. And so they got moved to PC for some reason, even though they're still playing on console. Well, controller, sorry. But they got moved, and then everybody decided to go out and buy a PC. And then they realised just how easy it was to hack. Some people realised it, started doing it, and then recording their gameplay and trying to make out like, oh no, I'm actually just really fucking good at COD, like I'm a fucking god. And then they were streaming it and doing videos, and they were blowing up. And then other people see this and they're trying to replicate it, and it just turns into this big, massive fucking shit show. And I mean, what bigger way to tell everyone that you've never touched a vagina except for your mum's when you fell out of it is there than to hack on a competitive game? I mean, what pleasure do you derive from, going into COD, doing really fucking well, but it wasn't really you? What? I mean, the mind fucking boggles. Can you imagine you go to work to earn money so that you can smash £100 a month on a subscription so that you can have a fucking system on your computer that just absolutely dominates on COD for you? In what world is that fun? In what world is that normal? But to spend all that money on a PC, and then all that money on the game, and then all that money on hacks, so that you can pretend that your dick is bigger than an inch. Like, I don't understand. Do the boys that do this, do they think that this is a way to impress the girls and get I don't know, because, I mean, trust me, no one's getting wet just because you're good at COD. And when they see that it's because of hacks, it's just going to make them drier than a nun's cunt. Let's face it. And the girls that do it, like, I don't know, what's going through their minds? Do they... Oh, if I infiltrate the boys' COD and I look like I'm really good, I'm going to be able to get 6 sticks shoved down my throat at once. I mean, because even, I mean, let's face it, they'll do it anyway. They're COD boys. They're desperate. Okay, that you're going to get 9 shoved down your throat if that's what you really want. Okay, let's face it. Honestly, it's absolutely fucking nuts. I don't understand this need to hack. It makes absolutely no fucking sense to me how anyone can find that fun. But let's face it, when it really comes down to it, they're just replicating people like Nadia and some of these others and Symphony and all them, and they just see them doing good on COD, whether it's good because they actually are good or because they're actually hacking, which, let's face it, there's so many of them that are now. They want to replicate it and think that they're going to blow up on streaming COD as well. And it's not going to happen. That ship has long sailed. It's gone. It's out the fucking harbour, okay? Yeah. Because everybody knows what's going on now. Everyone has clocked on and they know that the majority of these fucking cunts, they're not that fucking amazing with their 14 KDs on COD. Yeah. They're actually just a cunt using a script to do everything for them. Let's face it. And Activision really, really needs to get on top of this. The fact that they're boasting that they banned 50,000 people. That's nothing to boast about, guys. It's the fact that there was 50,000 people that were able to hack on your game, and there's even more of them out there. It's not something to boast about. Siege does this as well. Oh, we've just banned this many people and it's thousands. And you're like, no. That's not something to brag about. Your anti-cheat should be stopping it. It should be able to stop the majority of it. You can brag when you say, we banned 100 people this month. Then you can brag. Because everyone knows full well that then you managed to stop thousands of them. And this is the thing. If it keeps going on like this, everyone's always talked for years about the COD killer. What's going to kill COD? Is it going to be Battlefield? Blah, blah, blah. And I've always said the only thing that can kill COD is COD. And they kind of nearly did it sometimes with some of the fucking games they put out in the past. But they seem to have got really good now. They know what they're doing. They know what people want. Because they tried all the boosting movement and stuff. And it didn't work out quite as well as everyone thought it was going to bring in more players. But this kind of movement that we've got now, and now Black Ops 6 is going to come out with the Omni movement, like, people are going to fucking love it, I reckon. If they've managed to execute it well enough, that's going to be amazing. But what will kill COD in the end, and I never thought it would be the thing to kill COD, is the fact that there's just going to be too many people hacking. But I don't know, there's too many hackers out there, and it's not something to be proud of when you ban that many. It's something to be ashamed of that many got through, and you know that you've just banned that many, and there's even more out there. There are even more out there that you've not managed to get, because these anti-cheats are not so great. Companies don't like spending too much money on their anti-cheats because it eats into their profits. They're not realizing that you would actually garner more people if there wasn't a hacking problem. You would garner more players, which would then get you more profit. But, you know, who am I to say that? You know, it's just common sense. And the hacks these people are using, that they're paying to use, they come with this thing that works against the anti-cheat. They've got too smart, and the anti-cheat isn't constantly running in the background. It just every now and then will have a look at your game, and so the hacks will turn themselves off automatically for a few seconds when it knows that the game is watching, trying to find the hacks, so that you don't get banned, so that you don't get caught. It's ridiculous. But maybe if they did hardware bans, maybe that would deter people a little bit more. They just ban them, and then the person just buys the game again. How about you ban their GPU? If they've got to go out and buy a new GPU, they're not going to be somewhat into it, are they? They've got to go and spend a few grand again on a GPU. They're not going to be into it, are they? But that's just my thoughts and feelings on it. So, in conclusion, if you hack, you're a fucking dick. You're a fucking cunt. And forever a virgin, I guess. That's all I can that's all I can see of it. But anyway, guys, that has been it from me. I'm going to love you and leave you. And goodbye. Bye. Love you. Hackers are cunts.